What's up, Wilmo? Welcome back to Five Nights at Freddy's. And, you know, this is the 12th anniversary of Five Nights at Freddy's. Well, recently it was. We're on night 5, so that's cool. Okay, so yeah, that is phone guy done and dusted in this game. So here's the thing about Night 5. I've never beaten it on PC before. And so, yeah, I'm gonna have to lower the sensitivity just a little bit on the mouse, on the fly here. I love technology. Sometimes. Yeah, I feel like the last time I recorded Five Nights at Freddy's, I didn't talk too much about the game itself. And so I just wanted to kind of take this part to kind of say, like, you know, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 is a... Oh, no. Where's Freddy? Alright, well, he's got to be in 1B, right? But, Five Nights at Freddy's 1 is probably... It's probably one of my favorites in the series, simply because it is still really spooky to this day, in my opinion. And its atmosphere, it's got like a good balance of like horror, atmosphere, difficulty. Like, it's just got a good balance of everything. Forgot to check on Freddy. Like an idiot. But yeah, it's just got a good balance of everything, and honestly, that's why, I mean, honestly, that's exactly why, this game would end up spawning so many sequels. And why the franchise is still going so strong today, and why people still talk about it to this day, and why I'm still into it to this day, and why, oh no. And why, keep hearing the noises. Oh no. Alright, well, this is rough. This is rough. Not sure where... Okay. Not the best place he could be. Actually, I'm gonna turn my sensitivity up one more time. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm shaky, man. Why am I so shaky? I bet it's because... It's probably because the monster and the Kool-Aid... Kool-Aid? Kool-Aid I've had. That's a lot of sugar, man. That cannot be good for me. Especially with someone like me with ADHD and shit. Then again, like, I mean, there's some people it actually calms down, but I am not one of them. But that's the thing. I wanted to record this, but I was super tired, so I was like, I'll just get a monster, and then I ended up making some Kool-Aid, and I was like, you know what, I'll have some Kool-Aid as well. Yeah, yeah, this game just has a good balance of things. Oh no. Where are you? He's in the kitchen. Which is good. That's good. I also, just in general, really like the and survive style of gameplay that FNAF 1 and of course the subsequent games after up to Ultimate Custom Night, of course, have had. Oh my god, it didn't even make a sound that time. I mean, I suppose they say he might have gotten into the... Oh! God, that scares me every time, to this day. It really shouldn't, but it sure does. Oh my gosh, we're not winning tonight, I don't think. We are not winning night 5. That is faux show. Oh. Why did you slam the camera down, dude? Okay, he is in the kitchen, I believe, actually. He's bitching in the kitchen, if you will. Gosh. I don't know where he's at. That's the thing, man. That is the thing. Freddy sucks. Okay, he's like right outside the door now. There's no point in even checking the light because he's like right here. Yet I still check the light. Okay. Oh my god, Bonnie, why? Bonnie, you sure do suck sometimes, you know that? Even though I definitely miss you in certain games that will not be mentioned just yet. It's gonna make it sound like... I closed the door! You know I closed the door. You know I closed the door. Man, you know I closed the door. I cannot believe how hard I closed the door. It doesn't matter, though. It's... It doesn't matter. There's no way I'm making it, Sonny Jim. But this gives me a good time to talk to you guys a little bit. But yeah, you know, this game is just a good balance of things, a good balance of difficulty and spookiness that still gets me to this day. Like, the atmosphere in this game is still so good. I mean, to this day, it's 12 years old. I mean, it's not that old, but still... it's really cool to see how far... Honestly, I do think it's really cool to see how far the series is going. I really need to move those Cheez-Its, or rather the Cheez-It box. There's not even any Cheez-Its in there. So stupid. Makes me look like if you just pan the camera down, it'd be garbage. Which, no, it's not an Asmongold setup, I promise. It's just... keep forgetting to move the fucking Cheez-It box for some reason. Alright. Here we go. Night 5. Let's do it. And I'll get into my opinions on the other games later on, but I will say there are some FNAF games that I have not played, like Security Breach. I've only ever watched. Into the Pit, same deal. Secrets of the Mimic, same deal. I love the story of Secret of the Mimic a lot. I think the story is really cool. I like the story and just style of Into the Pit, even if it is a really strange one. The story with the time-traveling ball pit and shit like that. And then I also really like... I do like Security Breach, even though it's probably my least favorite of, like, the newer Steel Wool era of FNAF games. But I will say that part of that reason is just because, for one, this newer era... It's moved away already. For one, this newer era of FNAF has not been my cup of tea exactly in the gameplay department. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate them. I think they're really cool and I'm glad they exist. But, like I said, I really like this sit and survive style of FNAF. It's a very unique gameplay format that I've only ever seen in FNAF or, you know, FNAF adjacent things or fan games, you know. It's probably going to be a little hard for me to actually even do Night 5 because I'm so busy yapping. And Night 5 is where things get real, as they say. I will say that there are some in the Scott era games that I'm not a huge fan of. Like, for example, oh, for shit's sake. For example, FNAF 2, I like, but it's not my favorite one by any means because, in my opinion, it doesn't have the same kind of balance that this game has. It is far more like action and insanity and chaos than it is really spooky, in my opinion. But it is fun. Like, it's a very fun game to play, and I enjoy it. It's just, you know, that's just my opinion on it as far as, like, a spooky horror game goes. And then 3, I really enjoy, but, well, we'll get into all of that when the time comes. Sister Location is probably my least favorite in the entire series, which I know is probably gonna get tomatoes thrown at me. And maybe rightfully so, you know, like, one thing about Sister Location is I'll always appreciate that Scott wanted to try and do something different with the series, and he did. I think it's a very unique and cool game. It's just, again, in the gameplay department, it's just not my thing. I'm very picky, you know, there's just, it's nothing personal, it's just how I am, you know what I mean? Trust, I wish, oh my gosh, okay. Trust, I wish I, enjoyed Sister Location as much as some people do. Is fucking Freddy in here, dude? He might be. And again, we'll get into my complaints with Sister Location once I get to it. You can already know, you could probably already guess one night in particular that I particularly do not like. Is he still there? Yes, sir. Wow. Didn't do such a good job of locking in and focusing on Freddy, to be perfectly honest. I've done a real bad job the past couple of attempts, but luckily I've got a good bit of time. And I just kind of want to talk to you guys, you know? I have a lot of fun talking to you guys, and, you know, when you guys respond. It's okay, though. I actually prefer having to close my door every time I have to check on Freddy. Or every time, every time I have to do Freddy. I think doing Freddy might not be the... Hey, I definitely closed the door. I think doing Freddy might not be really exactly what I meant, you know? But at the end of the day, that's just how it is. Why do we have such an issue with keeping a track of Freddy at certain points? I know sometimes the footsteps in this game don't necessarily mean anything. But I feel like that's not always the case, you know? I feel like, or at least I think I heard that somewhere. You guys can let me know if that's true or not. I love FNAF, I really do, but a bit rusty at the lore and all that good stuff because, you know, there was a good minute there where I really wasn't into it as much as I was, like, from the ages of, like, 11, I'd say actually 12, from the ages of like... This is what happens when you start lamenting. God, this is why you can't lament. You can't lament, brother. No lamenting. Just zero lamenting. Anyway. But, yeah. When I was, I'd say from the ages of 12 to about 14, maybe even 15, maybe 16. It is maybe 16. Don't worry, I'm just scratching my leg because my eczema's acting up, which is unfortunate. But anyway, my allergies have been really strange lately, to be perfectly honest. But, yeah, from those ages, I would say, I was really into FNAF, and then, for a while, I kind of got out of it. And a lot of that was because, you know, when Help Wanted was coming out, I didn't really like VR as a platform back then, and so I just didn't really care that much. These days, I'm kind of curious about VR, so I do want to actually play Help Wanted for the first time on the channel. I've never actually played either Help Wanted game, so that'll be really exciting. As far as I know, those are the only places you can really find official FNAF, like, sit and survive style thing like this. Sorta like this, kind of. It's more like Sister Location from what I've gathered, but it's gonna be even cooler because, you know, it's in VR. And that is scary as shit. VR has a way of turning, like, what would otherwise be, horror into, like, really good horror. And actually being super scary. Good to know Bonnie isn't off stage. I don't know if I'm gonna attempt 420. Well, I'm gonna attempt 420 mode. But I don't know if I'm actually gonna beat it or not, you know? I have never, ever actually beaten 420 mode, so... On this game. Actually, I don't think I've ever beaten it on any of them. I think I've beaten... Nightmare mode on FNAF 4? But not 420 mode on FNAF 4. And definitely not Nightmare 420 or whatever. Because there's like 3 really hard nights in 4. But, hey, this time it didn't get me. Probably because my volume's a bit lower now so I can hear myself talk. Which is exactly why I'm not doing as good as I could be in this game right now. Actually, I've gotten pretty close a couple of times, barely even focusing. So if I did focus, we would be locked in right now. But, like I said, just kind of want to talk to you guys. And... Sorry, there's a fly about to get in my face. But I kind of want to just talk to you guys and... all that good stuff. Yeah, there it is. Get out of here. It's a net. Or fruit fly or something like that. It's like a... I'm sure that's awesome for the audio. I cannot believe... Okay. How far can we get if we do this and just... I think everyone ever has experimented with this and has said things like, why do we keep coming back another night? And, you know, we all know, me and you, we all know why we keep coming back another night. This gives a perfect time for me to talk to you guys, actually. But you all know why we come back in other nights, and we'll definitely be finding out even more once we beat this game and subsequent games, and I'll be kind of talking to you guys about the lore up to that point. But this one is a little bit hard to talk about the lore of, because really, I think I went over, excuse me, I think I went over everything in the last part where really, it focuses on the initial situation of it all. There's Foxy. The, you know, 5 missing children, and, you know, the 5 missing children incident, which is like the, or is it 6? Might be 6, which is like the original kind of start of everything in the FNAF lore. Well, it's not the start of everything in the FNAF lore, but, you know, it's the first kind of lore that's like popped into existence. And then in, you know, FNAF 2 is like a prequel, and then it adds to that. And I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. But as of right now, all we know, at least at this point in the series, is that there's 5 missing children, and, you know, we do later on get, well, you'll see. I don't want to, well, you guys have probably already seen it, but it's like, oh my goodness, Foxy. I guess we're not looking at him, so, but, you know, and we also get fired for, you know, odor and that shit. Wonder why. But again, we don't know why, at least up to this point. Not even the books are out, which, you know, I haven't read any of the books either, honestly, but, I'm not like the biggest FNAF lore head, but I do really like it. Sorry about that. I do really like, the FNAF lore a lot, or at least the kind of Afton era of it. I like certain aspects of, like, I like how isolated security breach, or not security breach, Secrets of the Mimic is. I like how isolated and straightforward, like, you can honestly play that game and understand everything the game is trying to tell you within that game without having to get any subsequent anything else. The subsequent anything else is just for extra little tiny, like, lore bits if you're, like, super curious about certain things here and there. Whereas, like, this era, we had a lot of subsequent stuff. But that's something I really like about Secrets of the Mimic. But, gameplay is kind of lacking for me a little bit. But, again, that's kind of hard for me to judge, considering I haven't played it. But, again, a lot of what lured me to FNAF in the first place is this gameplay, you know? As for me, this is really addictive gameplay. It's interesting because... What? We were at 9%! Did you guys see that? We were at 9%! I guess our battery is fucked in this facility or something. They knew that if we got to 5 a.m. and it still wasn't lower than 5 or the 9%, they knew we would probably win, and so they just what kind of bullshit is that? Alright, whatever. Alright, guys, it's time for me to actually lock in. It is time for me to actually lock in. So, let's do this. It's gonna be a little hard for me to commentate because I gotta lock in. Alright. Kool-Aid first. Alright. Let's do this. I gotta really focus on Freddy. And, that's the big one. As long as we make sure that Freddy can't get off stage, we're good. I do think now is, oh, well, I do think now is a good time to mention that, last time I beat FNAF 1 was on console, and not gonna lie, I had a hard time passing it, so I used some cheats. I'm not very good at these games, not gonna lie. Because the console versions have, like, cheats that you can use if you, beat them to a certain point. which is cool, but... Or actually, they're just unlocked from the get-go, which is crazy. I've beaten it on the mobile I've beaten it on mobile as well, but that was a long time ago. And I have never played it on PC, so... And, not gonna lie, it's a different experience on PC. Are you done? What in the hell, dude? Well, now... Hey. Oh! What? How is he still not gone? You know, it's funny. One of the criticisms for Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is that it's very luck-based, right? How is what is happening to me with Bonnie not luck? I can't control how long Bonnie is there. So if he wants to, realistically, he could just stay right at my door all night, draining my power. And there's just nothing I can do about it. Oh my God, see, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Dude, why is Freddy moving so much and none of it is away from me? Now, to be fair, that's standard fare for this game. But it's like, how is FNAF 3 gonna get criticism for being RNG heavy when, like, all of them are? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's silly to me. I'm a FNAF 3 fan, so... Not a lot of us out there, unfortunately. I wouldn't say that. I don't think it's as hated. It's still considered one of the classics. It's kind of like... It's kind of like the Silent Hill... What the fuck? It's kind of like the Silent Hill 4 of FNAF games, you know? Like, these days, Silent Hill 4 is looked at a lot more kinder than it used to be. But it used to be one of the worst, or at least that was the general consensus of it, you know, in the fan base. Not my opinion. Okay, well, not my opinion. I really enjoy Silent Hill 4, but that was the fan base's opinion for a while. Okay, well. And Silent Hill 3 FNAF 3 is kind of the same way. So, where, I feel like a lot of people have, warmed up to it a little more these days, you know? And that's not me trying to throw shade at the newer games. That's just me saying that I think people do just in general appreciate it more. I feel like that just happens with some games, you know? Mother 2, which is behind me here, is prime example of that. I'm gonna keep fucking around and messing up here. Not sure what was loading there. Oh my God. I'm so fucking lucky, I think. Because I had that door open when Freddy was right outside, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck off, Bonnie. Bonnie. Okay. Foxy, cool. Cool, awesome, super. This is rad. And I moved. I moved after the power went out, which you're not supposed to do. See what I mean? Well, to be fair, this wasn't 100% of my focus. Nah, I am not I'm not very good at these games. I ain't even gonna lie to you guys. In a strange twist of fate, the newer FNAF games might be the only ones I ever actually beat genuinely that isn't on mobile anyway. Because again, I've beat FNAF 1 and 2 on mobile. But I have a weird feeling mobile is a little easier than FNAF, or than like the original PC version, especially since I kind of keep like clicking a little bit off screen. But what can you do? What can you do? This time we need to ensure, I don't know why I said it that way, that Freddy does not go off screen, so, or off stage. I think I just fucked up already, to be honest. Yeah, I keep too much time in between it, is what I think is happening. That's what I think is happening. It needs to be 5. It needs to be 5 back and forths. That's like the rhythm I go by in my head. This little 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. You guys get it. I hope. Or maybe not. Maybe you guys can just like not have to do anything physical and just can count it in your head. Which, if so, that's wonderful. Love you guys for that. Me, I need to do something a little physical to keep track of it all. Oh my god. Okay, well, not sure where Freddy is now. Cool. That was cool. That was awesome. Dude. Okay, well, Freddy being at the door here, I mean, I'm pretty sure you have to master this technique anyway to do 2020 mode. Or 420 mode, rather. Which, begs the question, is it even worth checking the light for Chica at that point if Freddy's already here and we have to do that? I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not very good at these games, so I don't know the pro strats. Or even if that is a pro strat, because honestly, it might not be. Might just be what you need to do. This is pretty good. For a moment, I almost flipped the camera up without closing that door, which would have been very bad because he would have 100% gotten in the office just then. Oh my gosh. Dude. Do we just have like gum at the behind these buttons? Because like it just sticks. Sticks? I'll do that. Heart is a pumping. A heart is a pumping. Dude, really? Oh, he's in the office. He's in the office, I think. I believe he is in the office. It's not good. The prospects are not looking good, but I can't give up just yet because he might not be. Oh my lord, well, the fact I'm not dead yet is probably a good sign. I wish you could turn with the keys, man. I don't know if that would actually help. I feel like it would. Dude, Foxy sucks, man, because he takes so much power. You can literally see the power go down as he beats on the door. It's unfortunate. It's gonna end the way it always does. Especially with fucking Bonnie. Okay, not too bad. I need power. Oh my gosh. See, right then I accidentally clicked off screen. Oh my gosh. Whoa. So the problem is I need to keep him on stage. That's the issue. Because pretty early on, I keep allowing him to just go off stage. And so that's kind of the issue. It'd be really cool if somehow it went on so long that I did last, but literally as I got down to the final bits of power, it turned to 5. So I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah. But the only thing that's getting me at this point is literally power consumption. You know, I've gotta get better at that. And it's literally got to be a case of just like keeping Freddy on the fucking stage. I think what I need to do is check in 5-second kind of intervals as well, is what I think I might need to do. But I think I'm gonna leave this one off here. And it looks like we'll just have to have this in 3 parts. I kind of want to get this part out. I hate to leave it on like a loss, but at the same time, you know what? I'm gonna recoup real quick, and we'll be right back. That's what we'll do. I'm gonna recoup, and I'll be right back. All right, we're back. I hope. The game might crash. Oh, is it gonna? I gotta say, this game, holy shit, is it not kind of annoying? Like, does anyone else have these problems where it just, like, doesn't, like, go into, like, it goes into, like, a weird resolution, or, like, it just, like, because, like, it literally almost crashes my entire computer trying to get it to go, which is so annoying. It has got to be an issue with my computer or something, but it's like, I mean, I don't think I'll be able to continue the episode, literally. Hang on. Fucking Christ, man. At least close the goddamn game. Like, can there be an update on this game that gives me an exit button, please? And an options menu. An options menu would be great. Because then I could adjust the resolution and shit and make it to where it doesn't click off screen and shit. God, that's so annoying. All right, we're back. We are back. But I need to lock in. Not be so angry. Yeah, the game crashed twice trying to actually get it to fucking do right. So, all right, where's the mute button? No mute button, huh? Okay. Mute call, thank you. All right. You guys are about to see the most locked-in version of myself you've ever seen. Some good old FNAF ASMR is what we got going on here. I actually don't even need to check that side when she's in the kitchen. Okay, Chica could have easily been there. That was a bit reckless of me. Not gonna lie. I think I may have found the pattern. Well, something. Maybe. Oh, no! What the hell? Why, Freddy? Dude, these lights are pissing me off. Oh no. Dude. Oh my god. Okay, I have no time for your bullshit. Yeah. I mean, how are you supposed to combat that, you know? Other than literally closing the doors and wasting power. And you know, I could be very much overthinking this, to be honest. You know what else is interesting about both the mobile version and the console version? Is you can actually pause the game. Here, I think if I were to press the escape button, it would most likely actually exit the game. Dude, I would really like it. Okay, he's definitely in the bathroom though. And I left that door down for too long. Okay, he's there. Cool. Dude. Why, dude? Why do you gotta do this to me? I don't know if checking that camera actually keeps him in there or not. Dude, I was doing so good on power. And now, I do believe I'm cooked, as the kids would say. Misclicking buttons, which is not great. Although 25% at 4 a.m. isn't too bad. I think. You know, if I just pretend everything's okay. Foxy, you fucking bastard. Oh! My lord! Foxy really does kill the fucking vibe, doesn't he? Yeah. Now, isn't there a thing where, like, you can actually not check on Foxy and, like, he just doesn't come? I think it's like there's a chance of that happening, I guess. But I am kind of out of time. Sorry, this day is nothing but losses. You've probably never seen me lock in so far. And unfortunately, it's a game I've played before and I'm unfortunately sucking at, but it's okay because it happens to the best of us. Hopefully next episode I will do better. Honestly, I am a bit ashamed, but it's okay. I should be. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment, share with pals, help people discover Wilma today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.